बोलिए सतगुरु महाराज की जय, सच्चे दरबार की जय. Thank you everyone for joining us today for this spiritual discourse. Hope you all are doing well and staying safe. February is the month of love. So we'll contemplate on this topic today. But before we begin, I invite all of you to close your eyes for a few moments. Wherever you're seated, just gently closing the eyes. Finding your breath, connecting to it as it flows in and out through your nose. As you sit here today, ask yourself, what does love mean to me? When you think of love, what comes up for you? Are there certain people in your life? Are there things you own? Just being aware of what comes up when you think of love. And when you're ready, slowly opening the eyes. Love is definitely something each one of us seeks. Without love, life is like a picture without colors, a cone without ice cream. There's a story of a disciple by the name of Bharti. She was a disciple of Paramahansa Yogananda. And once while she was traveling on a plane, she got the window seat. And as she sat down, she was praying that no one sat beside her. But unfortunately, there was a big man with tattoos all over him that took the seat beside her. She pulled out her magazine that had the picture of Yogananda on the cover. And as the man, whose name was Michael, saw this picture, he asked her, "Who is this person on the cover?" And she replied, "He is the embodiment of love." And he says, "Yes, I do know that, but who is he?" And she inquisitively asked, "You do know that? Do you know him?" And he said, "Yes, one day this man came in my dreams and said to me, 'Michael, Michael, I love you dearly. I love you so much.'" And Michael, with tears filling in his eyes, says to Bharti, "You don't know me. You don't know the things I have done in my life. And you do not know what it meant to me to know that there is someone who loves me." And that is all of our truth. When we know that someone loves us, it fills the color into our pictures. It puts the ice cream back into our cone. It gives our life this zest that we were probably seeking for so long. In terms of love, Arjan Dev Ji says, I give myself and my soul just to get one glimpse of you, my master. Mira, who's been crying her eyes out for days, whose eyes have swollen, says that my eyes have started to hurt because they are waiting just to get one sign of you, one vision of yours. Rumi, a Sufi saint, says through love all bitter things turn sweet. Through love all things that are copper turn into gold. Through love all dregs turn into wine. And through love all pain becomes medicine. Hearing these compels me to think, what love are they speaking about? What have they experienced that they are ready to give up themselves just to catch one glimpse of their master, of their guru? Because in today's day and age, if you think about the relationship between a teacher and a student, the words that come up to describe that relationship are possibly respect, knowledge, understanding, but nowhere will I explain that relationship as love. But when it comes to the relationship of a guru and disciple, the only word that describes that relationship is love. If we take the love of a mother, the love of a father, of a friend and a companion, and put all of them together into one relationship, that is the relationship with the Guru. One of divine love, one that is limitless, that has no boundaries. It is one that is not even limited to this physical birth. Paramahansa Yoganand had a disciple, a young boy about 12 years old by the name of Kashi. And one day when the disciples were sitting around asking questions, Kashi asked that, will I be with you long? Will I be liberated in this life? And immediately Paramahansa Yoganand says, no, you will die very soon. And as soon as he says these words, he turns silent and ends his audience with the disciples there. For the next few days, every time Kashi saw his guru, he pleaded, Guru, promise me that when I die and I'm reborn again, you will come and you will find me and bring me back to the spiritual path. Every day when Kashi saw his guru, he had this request. After a few days, Paramahansa Yoganand gave in and said, if the Heavenly Father assists me, I will definitely find you, Kashi. Sometime later, Yoganand had to leave the Ranchi ashram for some work, for some trip. So he tells Kashi, until I return, do not leave this ashram, do not leave these four walls, no matter what happens. because Yogananda knew that if he stayed within those four walls, he could possibly avert Kashi's death. Such was the love he had for his disciple that he was ready to fight against the laws of nature to keep him alive. So Kashi stayed according to his guru's command. But the next day, his father came to take him home. And for 15 days, he persuaded Kashi to come home and see his mother once. He said, "Come with me to Calcutta. Just for 4 days. That's all it will take. Come, see your mother and return." And when Kashi still did not budge, after 15 days, his father threatened to bring the police. So Kashi did not want that. So he finally gave in and left with his father. Couple days later, Paramahansa Yogananda returns to the ashram, and when he hears about how Kashi was dragged to leave this ashram, he rushes to make a trip to Calcutta. But when he got there, it was too late. He saw Kashi's family mourning his death. While Kashi was there, he had eaten some contaminated food, gotten cholera, and eventually passed away. Every single day, the face of Kashi came before Yogananda, reminding him of his promise that he will find him and bring him back to the spiritual path. Yogananda tried to tap into Kashi's soul every single day. And 6 months later, while he was walking in the market of Calcutta, he heard Kashi's soul calling out to him, saying, "Master, it is me, it is Kashi, come to me, come to me." And Yogananda, following the guidance of his soul, following the sound of where this voice was coming from, he knew that Kashi had taken birth and was in the womb of a lady. That voice brought him in front of a door. He knocked the door. The servant who opened the door said his master was home. Yogananda asked to speak to him. And when he saw this man, the first question he asked was, "Please tell me, has your wife been expecting for 6 months now?" And the man replied, "Yes, she has. Please do tell me, how do you know this?" And Yogananda recites the whole story about Kashi and tells them that this little child who's going to be born is my disciple, is my child, Kashi. He describes all his features and says that he is meant for the spiritual path. That couple even named their child Kashi, and eventually Yogananda guided him to his spiritual path. Such is the love between a guru and a disciple, one that has no limitation, a love that falls short of words, a love that can only be experienced. Human love begins with an encounter, Our descriptions and conceptions all come after. Those descriptions help us connect to the person that we have come to love, but only after an encounter has ignited that love within us. The same holds true for divine love. Until and unless we have an encounter with the divine, we cannot experience divine love. Descriptions, conceptions of the divine, everything comes after. But an encounter with the divine is the precondition of divine love. It comes first. You cannot truly know what divine love is until you have a personal experience. Words fall short, descriptions are inadequate, because when you are touched by God, it is a unique experience for each individual. It is the most refined form of love in our universe. Our own capacity to love falls short. There is no comparison to God's love. Once you've experienced some of it within your soul, it will never leave you. The more you pine for it, the more you want it, the more it will accumulate within you. And this love will not only heal your inner wounds or bring you profound joy, but it will fundamentally change who you are. Your soul, that part of you that's truly yours, is energized and empowered with this love, that it changes you on every level, physical, mental, spiritual. And it is this love that gurus enable their disciples to experience. A love in front of which nothing of this world held any value. No riches, no relationships, no wealth, nothing held any value. Even experiencing deep states of meditation, experiencing samadhi, being liberated, even these held no value in front of this love. Once Anand, who was a disciple of Buddha, says to Buddha, "I have served you for 50 years. 50 years. And in all these years, I have seen so many of your disciples, of your monks, of your nuns, experience deep states of samadhi, experience enlightenment. But yet, I have not experienced any of that. Where have I gone wrong, Tathagat?" Buddha says to Anand, "Anand, it's because you are too attached to me. That's why you haven't been able to experience enlightenment." Anand says, "You have experienced it. You have experienced so much. So how come being attached to you is not going to help me experience it?" Buddha says, "I have stated the truth. It's up to you to accept it or reject it." Anand says, "Yes, I know. This is your answer always. I've said what is the truth. The rest is for you to do." 3 months later, Buddha leaves his physical body. And the pain of separation was so intense for Anand that he could not bear it. It was so deep that it put him into a state of samadhi. And when he returns, he says, "Yes, Tathagat was right. I was attached to Him. I did not know anything beyond Him. My whole life revolved around Him. And now that I've experienced Samadhi, I do not care for it. I cannot live without you, Tathagat, and that is my truth. And saying this, he also leaves his physical body. Imagine the depth of this love. The more you experience it, the deeper it gets. And this is something that each one of us can experience. Because divine love does not seek an object to express itself. It's like the sun that shines its rays, its light on everyone and everything. It does not find one particular object to shine its rays upon, nor does it wait for our gratitude. Divine love is just like that. There for each and every one of us to experience. And there is no formula. There is no particular ingredient list that you have to have in order to experience divine love. Because that interaction, that encounter with the divine can happen anywhere. There was a shepherd who was talking to God, asking, "Where are you, the one who controls everything? Come so I can kiss your hands and massage your feet and clean out the corners of your room." Moses hears this shepherd and asks him, "Who are you speaking to like that?" And this shepherd replies to God. Moses rebukes him that is not how you speak to God. And the shepherd knew that Moses was the prophet. So he feels ashamed and runs off into the desert to repent for how he had spoken to God. But after this experience, God speaks to Moses and says, "I do not look at words. I look at what's in the heart, because the heart is of substance. Speech is merely an accident." He says, "I seek a heart that has a burning desire within it." And if we take that burning desire as our guide, we'll come to recognize that this is a love that continues to expand, that we will never feel fulfilled with it. Every experience will deepen our experience of divine love, but will also increase that desire to want to experience it more. This love keeps transcending itself. There is no end to it. But it is this divine love, brothers and sisters, that will bring us that profound joy that we are looking for. That will color the picture of our life. That will change us from the core. that love that already exists within us. It will remove the layers that are covering it, so this love can flow through us. I invite each and every one of you to Divine Light World to come and have your encounter with the divine, to start your journey of experiencing that divine love, to give meaning to your lives. On that note, we'll conclude today's discourse. Till next time, God bless, stay safe.